roommates. Something I don't want to talk about, but I'm going to because honestly, it feels like it's been some time since I've done a topic-based video kind of like this one, so if any of you missed this, you're welcome. So, roommates. A heavily debated subject when it comes towards if they're a wise idea or not. Sure, some people get roommates to help with rent or to move in with friends because they think it's a great idea and it's gonna be all fun and all that stuff. Yeah, an endless sleepover with my besties. But allow me to tell you, it doesn't always work out like that. So sit your butts down and if you can, watch the entire video because my watch time is terrible at the moment. Cause TheFearRaiser is going on a wild rant. Getting roommates, all depending on if you have the choice of who your roommates are, can be fun in the short term, but usually not in the long term. If you have the luck to move in with some of your friends to go in on the rent and stuff, then yeah, it's fun. I remember when I had a good friend of mine move in with me and we used to have a lot of great times together. Watch anime and all that jazz. That being said, however, there would definitely be times where we would both just get sick of seeing each other because we didn't live in a big place. And when you're sharing up a small apartment together as two grown men, it can be a bit of a problem at times. Now, on the other hand, what happens when you don't get to choose your roommates? Now that's where the real dilemmas can unfold. Getting roommates you've never met can be super hit or miss when it comes to comfortably living with each other, but often I've heard of many terrible stories of roommates being messy, gross, loud, and all sorts of other things that do not make your living situation any better. Which leads me to my next point. When you live with someone for a certain amount of time in your personal space that is meant to be shared together, you truly begin to see the true colors of the people you're rooming with. That friend you have, Billy Bob, might seem like a well-rounded, clean person, but when he's your roommate, he's obnoxious, messy, and never flushes the toilet. Same goes with Sally Sue, a sweet, bubbly girl who at home loves to blast her music on max and leave her schoolwork all over the place. Sure, there are examples, but they're pretty good ones nonetheless. Living with people is a lot different than being friends with them, and when it comes to living with roommates together, conflicting interests and opposing ways of a lifestyle/living situation can lead to a lot of uncomfortable confrontations. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of living with roommates. Oh, the delicious taste of pain and suffering. How salty you taste. Okay, so it should be assumed that just because you live with someone doesn't mean you're not going to be affected by the drama that you or your roommates carry with you. Like an infectious disease, any sort of drama or dilemma your roommate is dealing with, you're most likely somehow going to be affected by it too. Imagine this. You're just chilling at home, watching TV, having a great day and minding your own business, when all of a sudden your roommate busts into the apartment, angrily ranting, cursing the day and all the world as he stomps into his room, aggressively playing loud music to vent it off. You're going to carry that into you. Sure, it's not your problem, but the vibes are already in the air and your roommate will more than likely drag that onto you whether you realize it or not. Another example is what happens when there's some kind of disagreement amongst you and your roommates. What if there's a lot of arguing, tension, and bad JoJo floating around for the next week, all because no one wants to clean the dishes? Oh, trust me, it sucks. It's not something people talk about often, but it is not a great time. Let's be real. Privacy is super important, especially after a long day at school, work, or even just hanging with friends. Coming home, you want to feel like you have that privacy towards yourself and not totally mess that up. It's kind of hard to do that with roommates. All depending on your situation, your room is really the only space you got to do your thing. But if you don't got a lock on your door, oh man. Overall, having roommates might sound like a great idea, and sure, it very well could be. There are many great things that can come out of having roommates besides splitting the rent, but like everything in life, you'll never truly know until you experience it yourself. So with that being said, take all of my advice with a grain of salt, and if you're curious to try it with a few friends or strangers, then give it a go. But don't say I didn't warn you.